As I record this, Tesla stock, after hours, within 10% of an all-time high. Who could possibly have seen this coming? Certainly not me, nor anyone who'd paid attention to Tesla's history as an extremely volatile stock that tends over time to do approximately nothing or worse, and then, out of seemingly nowhere, go vertical. Story of Tesla's life. Within a few months, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times higher. Rinse, recycle, repeat. Ain't the first time, or the second time, or the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, or seventh time. This is the history of Tesla as a publicly traded company. More volatile than your ex-girlfriend. This is why you really want to make sure you've deeply analysed this company, built out your own valuation model, considered the worst case, the best case, and probably a more reasonable base case. Modelled some of the future business opportunities Tesla's pursuing aggressively. Done your best to estimate their likelihood of success. In other words, this is why it matters so much to have built a very strong thesis around Tesla, because if you have a strong thesis around Tesla, you will not be acting from a place of fear, uncertainty, doubt, or hope, but of confidence. Now, of course, your confidence could be misplaced, but this is how you build conviction. Maybe you think Tesla's a horseshit company, you wouldn't touch it with a 420,000 foot pole, but only because you've built your model and you think horseshit company, dogshit future, not touching this stock. Good, don't own it. Alternatively, maybe you're extremely bullish on the company. Over the next 10 plus years, maybe your valuation model suggests that at 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 bucks a share, it's still a pretty good deal. In which case, you're probably not prone to panic selling near multi-year lows. I think it got about as low as like $108, give or take, early 2023. By the way, I'm not laughing at the stock being that price. I'm just laughing at some of the dumb fucks that panic sold at those levels. I mean, holy shit, dude. Then, not too much longer later, again, another massive crash in the mid $100 range in April 2024. Post-election surge, then a massive crash in the low 200s in April of this very year. And from that point now, having essentially doubled. I want you guys to burn this image of Tesla's stock price over time into your brain. You will note this is the polar opposite of smooth and predictable. It's extremely volatile. I've made videos going back 5-6 years saying Tesla's an extremely volatile stock and will remain that way for the foreseeable future. The reason? They're pursuing multiple extremely challenging projects, massively disruptive, with huge upside potential that most analysts are too scared and or incapable of actually modelling or anticipating, let alone understanding. There always seems to be a multi-year delayed reaction between Tesla inevitably dominating something, announcing their intent to pursue something, then it becoming obvious they will dominate, and then investors, more broadly speaking, actually realizing, oh shit, they are actually going to do what they said they're going to do, and they are actually going to take a dominant share. Next minute, we have a wave of price target increases, big deep-pocketed investors piling into the stock, and stock moves higher. Now, I'm never going to tell you guys what Tesla stock's going to do because nobody knows. The best I can do is try to estimate what the company would be fairly valued at a future point in time based on certain metrics and milestones relating to production, performance, profitability, revenue growth, blah, blah, blah. But what I can tell you, what I will tell you, is history has shown us over the last 15 years with Tesla as a publicly traded company, it is par for the course for extreme volatility, wild swings, and violent moves higher. Now, you guys will know, surely the king of tech investments, Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway, news broke strangely late, but hey, whatever, that Berkshire Hathaway completely exited from their BYD stake. Now, they made a killing on this investment, held it for a very long time, fancy that. But as of earlier this year, by March 31st, end of the first quarter, they'd completely sold their stake, and we can see the stake in BYD over time. Now, I'm not a hater here. When you make an investment, you make a lot of money on it, good on you. But I know that Berkshire Hathaway still has a pretty decent stake in a lot of companies they've held for many decades longer than BYD, which, call me crazy, but might indicate perhaps either a lack of confidence in BYD's future, or maybe a significantly better opportunity elsewhere, or maybe somebody took the Berkshire Hathaway team into the kitchen and they saw what they were cooking, allegedly. I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't know why I said that. I guess while we're discussing Tesla's killers, the competition that are definitely coming and not embarrassingly fast and all over themselves, but for Tesla, any day now, Hyundai Motor Group Executive Chair had this to say on Elon Musk. Quote, someone had asked earlier who you really respect in this industry, and my answer is Elon Musk. Without him, our industry, including Hyundai, would never change, maybe. Now, call me crazy, but didn't Tesla have a mission statement that directly outlined their intent to force the entire industry, the vehicle industry, to change, to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy and transportation? Yes, they did. In other words, Tesla achieved that mission. And now we have others in the industry, other automotive manufacturers admitting if there were no Tesla, we wouldn't have changed. Food for thought. The software-defined vehicle concept and the electric vehicle concept, he really pushed and accelerated that. I think he is really remarkable for doing that. Now, you have to respect this honesty, although it's kind of a weird world in which being honest would garner any respect. It should just be par for the course, a default, right? But when you have absolute shitheads like Mary B. Aspara misleading the public, stealing Tesla's valor in collusion with the former president of the United States, the big guy, it is nice to see some honesty within the automotive industry. While we're talking about Tesla's so-called competition, Lucid Motors, currently sucking from the teat of their many sugar daddies, I mean, I'm not a hater, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Are attempting to escape from the hell they're currently experiencing, attempting to sell their extremely high-end vehicles into a market in which Tesla offers comparable products that may add 1 or 2 inches less, but are a fraction the cost for comparable performance, features and functionality, if not vastly superior, especially about infotainment, software, etc. They're attempting to spread their wings and become a robotaxi company, and I wish them success. I predict almost certain failure. Not a hater, just calling a spade a spade. But we learned that Lucid, who recently announced a partnership or some kind of Eiffel Tower situation, I'm not sure exactly, with Nuro and Uber around robotaxis. Well, Lucid has delivered the first Uber-exclusive robotaxi, wait for it, engineering vehicle to Nuro for integration with the Nuro driver. This marks the beginning of an exciting new Chapter 11 chapter. Stay tuned. So there's a nice swanky video, and congratulations to the Lucid team for delivering a vehicle which presumably now is going to be fitted with the necessary sensors and or software and equipment by Nuro to then add to the Uber fleet as a robotaxi. Sounds simple. Now, every time I point out Lucid's fucked, Lucid investors, employees, fanboys and fangirls tend to get butthurt. And, well, I don't care. I'm not here to tell you what I want to happen. I'm just here to tell you what I think is likely to happen. This is likely to fail epically and catastrophically, but you've got to give credit to Lucid for at least trying. Struggling to sell your 6-figure vehicles, losing insane amounts of money on every vehicle sold, even though you can barely move them. Well, why not try something different? So good on them for trying. I do just want to say something. As I record this, Lucid are known for producing high-end luxury, you know what I'm talking about, woolly mammoth pubes in the seat stitching and unicorn tears in the wiper fluid, inch-adding ultra-luxury high-end vehicles and losing a lot of money even though they're selling them at pretty high prices. So Lucid producing the hardware, as in the vehicle, to then be fitted by a third party with the necessary equipment, aka software and so on, to operate autonomously, and then to use another third party, Uber, to actually operate the robotaxi. The big challenge I see here is cost. Tesla's Cybercab, a dedicated vehicle specifically designed and engineered to be as cost effective as possible and able to be produced in massive volumes, will enter production next year. And even before then, their existing Model Ys, which they're making in the $30,000 range, are already scaling rapidly. So the best case scenario for Lucid with their Uber, Nuro, Lucid robotaxi partnership is to carve out an extremely small niche of customers who are willing to pay an extraordinarily high cost per mile to use their service. And don't get me wrong, if you market and manipulate and advertise enough, there'll be people out there who want this service. But the real question is, will there be enough people out here for this to actually be sustainable? If you're competing in the same marketplace as Tesla, there's no point for Uber trying to compete on cost. It just will not happen. It can't happen. Their hardware cost is astronomical relative to Tesla. So they have no choice but to try and position this as an extremely high-end, ultra Uber, get it, premium service. But how big is that market? Remember, this is the same strategy that Lucid pursued with their vehicles, although they always said, well, we're going to copy Tesla and eventually hit the mass market. But currently, as I record this, Lucid are struggling to sell their extremely high-end, ultra-premium, 6-figure vehicles to customers. I wish them well. I also think they're fucked. And now some final thoughts. With Tesla stock within 10% of all-time highs, just remember, folks, derp. Tesla stock goes up. Derp says, I'm a genius. Tesla stock goes down. Derp says, it's Elon's fault. Fuck you, Elon. I'm going to run for the board of directors. Stop having opinions, Elon. You're shit. We need to replace you with somebody that knows what they're doing. Don't be derp. Remember, conviction creates calm. and investor energy is calm. Trader energy is chaos. I think it's safe to say that when it comes to Tesla stock, based on the last 15 years of history, calmness is rewarded and chaos is severely punished. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 is awesome. I've been taking it daily now for more than 3 years. It's a great way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's packed full of vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus has prebiotics, probiotics, and adaptogens to improve gut health, regularity, and help your body handle stress. I'm always looking for an edge to help me feel and perform my best, which is why I haven't missed a day of AG1 for more than 3 years. Just try it and see how you feel. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs.